for American cricket began in 2021.
There he goes into a dive! What a catch!
The rise of cricket was celebrated across the country. Now, with big wickets and even bigger hits, the stars of minor league cricket are back and better than ever.
Primus goes huge!
Don't miss the nation's largest league competing for the biggest prize in American cricket. The Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship returns June 25th.
You're watching the Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship, presented by Sunoco.
The game will start at 1 p.m. EST and it will be a 15 over side game. So we'll bring the live broadcast as soon as the things go underway. So stay tuned until then.
Yeah, looks better.
So we're being informed the toss has Michigan has won the toss and elected to field. So Chicago Blasters will be batting first. The second game of the weekend here at Lion Oaks Park in Wixom. Again, to remind the viewers, it'll be a 15 over a side game and we'll be live with first ball commencing at 1 p.m. EST. Once again, reminding all of you all who are online and eagerly waiting for this contest, Michigan Cricket Stars against the Chicago Blasters. Michigan winning toss, putting the Blasters into bat. We'll have the game go live at 1 p.m. EST. That's in about 6 minutes time. So we've got the team lineups that's shared with us. So we'll go through the Michigan Cricket Stars lineup, the playing 11 for today. Zishan Maqsood, Norman Anwar, Mohammad Mohsin, Ryan Scott, Anthony Wordsworth, Zia Khan, Azatullah Raju, Mohammad Umar, Thea Barnett, Haladar Das, Andre Bryce, with Farhan Ali adjust as the 12th man. So I have my fellow commentator here, Avinash. Welcome, Avinash. He'll go through the Chicago Blasters lineup now.
Thank you very much, Akshay. Yes, hello and good afternoon to all our viewers. The Chicago Blasters, led by Ashar Mehdi, the captain. He is joined on the field by Shahir Hassan, Awais Zia, Muhammad Vakas, Shreyas Ramesh, Pankaj Kampli, Mohit Patel, Kevin Phillip, Jay Patel, Abdullah Kadri, Chiranjeevi Saikant Akunuri, and Humayun Ahmedzai is 12th man for today. Like Akshay mentioned, we've had about a couple of hours delay here because of inclement weather conditions here in Wixom, Michigan. But the ground and the pitch are dry, the toss is done, the players are warmed up, and we promise the action will begin sometime soon. So stay tuned, and we will bring you this game live from Lion Oaks County Park in Wixom, Michigan. The Michigan Cricket Stars hosting the Chicago Blasters. See you all in a bit.
So we have the umpires walk out to the middle. Two very experienced umpires standing in today. Both USA Cricket certified, Mr. Omkar Akolkar and Mr. Karthik Raghupati. Third umpire is Mr. Victor Jabakumar. So we're all set here at Lion Oaks County Park as batsmen make their way out.
Yes, this match reduced to a 15-over hit out between the two sides. Conditions here in Michigan very different from yesterday. We had bright blue skies, white clouds and sunshine yesterday. Today it's grey, overcast skies and conditions that can only be charitably described as English conditions, as we euphemistically tend to call rainy conditions. The Michigan Cricket Stars winning the toss and have inserted the Chicago Blasters into bat, seeking to take advantage of the bowling-friendly conditions. Slightly damp outfield, a pitch that promises to have the ball zip after bounce, and Zia Khan and Andy Bryce and their colleagues, their bowling colleagues, will be licking their lips at the prospect of bowling first in these conditions. The Chicago Blasters, not having had the greatest start to the tournament, they are still in pursuit of their first victory. These two sides faced off last week on Chicago's home turf, and Michigan had a thumping win, scoring 227. Ryan Scott scoring 90 of just 31 deliveries. Ryan Scott seems to have a special liking for the Chicago Blasters bowling. He slammed a century the last time here as well against the same team at Lion Oaks. Blasters could only manage 165 in return, courtesy of Mohammad Waqas' 63 of 37 and Pankaj Kampli of 51 of 34. The Blasters' city brethren, the Tigers, had a pretty comprehensive win over Michigan yesterday. Michigan will be champing at the bit to try and set the record straight today and seek avenge yesterday's loss, while the Blasters, as I mentioned, are looking for their first win. So the match being reduced to 15 overs aside, this promises to be an absolute belter. I'm joined here in the commentary table today by Arun Kumar again, who was my partner in crime yesterday as well. Arun, it's such a pleasure to be here with you again today.
Thank you. Good afternoon, one and all. Welcome to this match which we have been waiting for the last 2 hours. Finally, it is about to commence. As we've already reported, Michigan Cricket Stars won the toss and put Chicago Blasters into bat. Openers out there. Zia Khan marking his run-up, ready to commence proceedings here. Away Zia.
So we're ready for the first ball of the game. Zia Khan steaming in and hits the line straight away, slightly moving into the left-handed batsman. Good start there by Zia Khan. Away Zia, the man on strike for the Chicago Blasters. His partner at the non-strikers end, Shahir Hassan. That ball moving in again towards the leg stump, flicked away off his hips by Away Zia to take him off the mark. Perfect bowling conditions here today, as we mentioned a few moments ago. So Michigan bowlers will be looking to take full advantage of the lovely conditions on offer.
Good afternoon, Avinash. Once again, right and left combination. I think this has been the order of the day to confuse the bowler a bit. Now the right-hander batsman on strike. Only 2 fielders allowed outside the circle. third man and deep mid wicket.
Oh, that ball bouncing off a length, beating the batsman and the keeper as well. Some late movement after pitching, and just before the ball reached the keeper, there was a slight drift out towards the offside, caused to make a little bit of bowlers would be excited seeing that. Oh, wild swing and a miss again by the batter. The keeper again having to make a dive to his right to try and stop the ball. Plenty of movement on offer, especially after pitching. Surprisingly, the ball drifting in the air just before reaching the keeper.
Maybe because of the overcast conditions here.
Yep, so Zia Khan will be looking to harness that movement before the ball reaches the batsman. And attempting that straight away, trying to overcompensate, drifting towards the leg, hoping to bring the ball back in, which it did, but not quite enough. The batsman working it off his hips for a single to square leg. Shahir Hassan off the mark as well. Oh, banged in short. Not sure how good a ploy that is. The batsman saw a salivating prospect for a scoring opportunity there for a moment, but not quite able to capitalize on it. Underneath edge down to the keeper as the first over winds up. Chicago Blasters 2 for no loss at the end of the first over.
I think the groundsman did a wonderful job in starting the match. A lot of water on the wicket early in the morning. We had a good rain. They had to put all sorts of deploying towels.
Yes,
blowers.
credit definitely due to the groundsmen and the support staff here. Yeah, like you said, working very hard to get the water off the pitch. The overnight cover not quite achieving the intended objective, and the ground staff here having to, and the organizers having to deploy air blow dryers and vacuum cleaners to suck up the water. But they've done a good job, and we have the game starting, albeit slightly late, as the batsman hits that away towards the deep point boundary, and the body language, the relaxed body language of everyone on the field suggests that that ball did travel over the boundary for the first boundary of the game. So the outfield, while being slightly lush and slowing the ball down, the dampness doesn't seem to have quite affected the pace of the outfield.
But this was well struck.
Wild swing there again at the ball, but well out of reach of the bat, and the umpire signals a wide. Theo Barnett partnering Zia Khan with the new ball today for Michigan. Nice measured run up and banged in short. And yes, that is a magnificent catch by the mid-off fielder. That ball seemed to be dying on him. The batsman not really interested in walking away. There is some debate. The fielders are celebrating. The mid-off fielder is quite confident that he took the catch cleanly. The umpires are probably going to confer. The batsman standing his ground, insisting that the ball probably bounced into the fielder's hands. Great effort there by the fielder, diving forward on a ball that was dying on him. We're still awaiting confirmation, and yes, there is the confirmation. That indeed is the end of Shahir Hassan in the second over. Big breakthrough here for the Michigan Cricket Stars early on in the game. Not sure Shahir is very happy at how events have transpired, but nonetheless he has to go. The umpires did confirm that the catch was indeed taken cleanly. So great effort there by the fielder at mid-off. Anthony Wadsworth there, the fielder at mid-off,
That's a really
taking
a
a
wonderful
fantastic
catch.
catch.
Wonderful catch driving forward. Never easy to take such catches.
Mohammad Waqas comes in on the back of a couple of big good scores, and that shows in his confidence as he advances down the track on his very first delivery, slamming that through the cover region, and the batsman coming back comfortably for 2. So Mohammad Waqas off the mark.
With the offside field being strengthened, the slip comes into covers.
Oh, that one pitched full. And the moment of excitement there, and the fielder having a shy at the stumps and just missing it as the batsman scampered through. Quick single taken there. Of course, this game reduced to 15 overs aside, so the batting team has to avail of every possible scoring opportunity. Full ball there being driven down to mid-on, and the batsman taking a quick single. Theo Barnett taking a few paces and giving everything he has into the delivery. And probably the slight dampness at the crease causing Theo Barnett a bit of concern there as he misses his footing and wisely pulls out of delivering the ball. We see some charisma today in the Michigan Cricket Stars team, compensating for the grey conditions here. We have a bit of a splash of colour there. Theo Barnett, nice bright green on the top of his head, and nice and full on that occasion, not allowing away Zia to get away with that at all. We saw the nice bright pink from Andy Bryce, currently standing at backward square leg on the boundary. Oh, that was probably in the slot. Zia would be a bit miffed at having missed out that score. What do you think?
Definitely, it takes the inner edge of the bat onto his pads.
End of the over. Chicago Blasters 10 for the loss of 1 wicket at the end of 2 overs. "15 overs aside, what strategy can you really discuss there, Arun, you think? I mean, it's
But Chicago Blasters, they are not very happy with the start. Only 10 runs coming off the first 2 overs. They'll be looking to go over the top. I think it's 5 over power play. 3 more overs to go in this power play.
and 3 overs per bowler, I'm assuming, instead of the usual 4. Oh, shot there and hit away backward of square for a boundary again. That one was too short, and it's only fair that Mohammad Waqas took full measure of that delivery from Zia Khan and tonking it away over the deep backward square leg boundary for 4.
This is what they should look for.
Yes, the Michigan Cricket Stars bowlers need to be a bit careful here. It's understandable with the tempting conditions on offer that the bowlers initially will be looking to try and put in that little bit of extra effort, but they need to be careful that they don't end up bowling waywardly. Oh dear, shot down the leg side again, and Zia Khan will probably be happy that the batsman missed getting some willow on it and it's being called a wide.
It's a good opportunity missed there. This ball should have been put away. Short outside the leg stick.
Zia Khan running in, looking to make amends. Which he does. Good delivery there. On a length. In that little channel just outside the off stump, which Mohammad Waqas does well to take a stride forward and smother with his bat. Makes for a pretty picture here, the Lion Oaks ground here in Wixom, Michigan. Lush green outfield, grey background, coloured outfits, white ball. As Zia hits the spot again, not allowing Mohammad Waqas to get away with that.
The batsmen, they have to do something to disturb the bowler. Coming down, attacking. This time he attempts that. But this time the ball will not travel, only a single.
You're pretty prescient there, Arun. It's every time you suggest something, the batsmen seem to follow it. We saw that on occasion yesterday from one of the Chicago Tigers batsmen, and today Mohammad Waqas taking your advice and advancing down the track to that one. Unfortunately, the lushness of the outfield meant that there wasn't much value to the shot, just a single. Had a good game the last week, Mohammad Waqas, 63 of 37, albeit in a losing cause. As Zia employs his tried and tested tactic of going wide off the off stump to the left-hander. A half-hearted swish off the bat there from the batsman, but not making any contact whatsoever on that occasion. Away Zia will look to get a move on here. Has only scored 1 of 6 deliveries. And that is exactly what he's done, courtesy of an absolute long hop by Zia Khan at shoulder height, and all Away Zia had to do was swing the bat in a comprehensive arc, and that one made good contact, sailing over the cow corner boundary for 6. And suddenly Away Zia's equation looks a lot better there, 7 of 7.
This is what the batsman should be looking now. Wait for the loose deliveries. Try to come down the track and disturb the bowlers.
Yes, what's confounding at times is that you have such lovely swinging conditions on offer.
Definitely.
And while you can use the short pitch delivery as an odd one out to try and unsettle the batsman, you can't quite resort to it on a regular basis.
Earlier ball, he bowled a beautiful outswinger to the left-handed batsman, and there was no need for him to try that short delivery.
Exactly.
He had to pay for it. Continuing with Burnett. Chance of a run out there. Direct through hitting the stumps would have been curtains for the non-striker. Lucky it didn't hit the wickets. Fielder had a good chance. He had the sight of all the 3 wickets, but missed it.
Yes, away Zia there. Probably the previous shot that went for 6, making him feel eager to get back on strike. That one on a length as well, and magnificently fielded there by the fielder at short mid wicket, diving to the right and stopping what would surely have been a couple of runs at least. Yet again a good stop by the fielder there, diving slightly to his left. Arjun Ajbani, the fielder on that occasion. Mohammad Iman, the fielder, putting in the dive on the previous ball. So good commitment being shown there by the Michigan Cricket Stars.
Barnett has been good in this over, bowling straight, not giving any room for the batsman.
Oh, and that one's been slammed down the ground. The ball slowing up as it reaches the boundary. Anthony Wadsworth able to chase after it and return it back to the bowler. Comfortable 2 there for the batsman.
It was well struck, but the ball is not travelling in this lush green outfield.
Oh dear, away Zia trying to give himself some room, moving too much down to the leg side, and Theo Barnett sensing that and bowling that one a bit wider, causing away Zia to not be able to make contact with the ball. Oh, but this time doing it a bit too much, and the umpire faces the scorer and extends his arm. His arms, rather, to signal a wide. Likes to get through his over quickly, Theo Barnett. Oh, and that's been hammered back down the ground again. Anthony Wadsworth making a good attempt, not quite able to cut the ball off with his boot. And the ball going through to a boundary almost exactly behind the bowler's arm.
The fielder there trying his football skills.
Very good shot there. That ball pitched up nicely, moving slightly into the batsman's arc of hitting, and the batsman taking full advantage. Beautifully crunched down the ground, just past the umpire's head. And off for 4, taking away Zia on to 13, and the Chicago Blasters to 30 for 1 at the end of 4 overs. 1 more over left in the power play for this game.
I think the power play is 3 fielders going. No. I think last over of the power play. 1 deep mid wicket and long on. Deep long on. Right.
Andy Bryce, the bowler, replacing Zia Khan, who conceded 14 in his 2 overs. Oh, that's a nick. Good attempt by the keeper. That one was rising even as it reached the keeper. Keeper made a valiant attempt, jumping and lunging to his right, but the ball just popping out of his outstretched palm.
There was a chance of a run out also.
Yes,
Shy.
quick thinking there by the fielder at short third man, seeing the batsman scamper through for a single, having a shy at the stumps.
So the batsman gets away.
Straight away generating some pace and bounce. Andy Bryce. And good change of pace already. Good thinking. The batsman probably didn't expect a slower ball this soon in a bowler spell. But Andy Bryce showing some good control over there, taking the pace off the ball. The ball going a lot lower on that occasion, underneath the bat swing from Mohammad Waqas. Oh, that one full, and a helicopter shot there by Mohammad Waqas, and his confidence in the shot was such that after playing that helicopter shot, he just stood his ground, confident that the ball's going to race past the boundary, which it does. A beautiful shot there.
So that reminds me of Dhoni going for his helicopter shot. Nowadays, most of the batsmen attempting this stroke.
Yes, absolutely. Oh dear, that one banged in short by Andy Bryce again. The batsman going over point on that occasion. The ball again slowing up just before the boundary. The batsman gesturing in exasperation at the fielder, saying, come on, it seriously couldn't have stopped before the boundary, but that's indeed what happened. So 2 is all Mohammad Waqas and the Chicago Blasters are going to get on that occasion. Probably getting away with that short one there, Andrew Bryce.
Deciding to go round the sticks now.
Oh, that one a bit short of the length again, and the line being comfortably outside the line of leg stump. And the Michigan Cricket Stars are going to have to watch out for the number of extras they concede here. The exuberance of their fast bowlers can provide a bit costly. Oh dear, that one's a complete miss hit, and Anthony Wadsworth was again in commission at mid-off, but the ball dropping well short. Anthony slipping on the wet grass and not quite able to reach the ball in time, and Mohammad Waqas in a lot of relief comes through for the single. This one a much better targeted, shorter delivery from Bryce, cramping the batsman for room and making him play an awkward half pull, half jab at that one. Mohammad Waqas would consider himself quite lucky on that occasion.
It would have been a repeat of the first wicket.
Oh dear, no slip in place. The peril of the modern day game where the bowler is banging in short, so the captain just thinks that okay, he's going to take the slip out and put him somewhere else to try and stop scoring opportunities, but on the odd occasion when you do manage to elicit a nick, the bowler only can throw his arms up in desperation as there is no slip. Ball going through to third man on that occasion, handing away Zia a single. 42 for 1, the Chicago Blasters at the end of the power play. obviously new ball bowling friendly conditions. I'm a bit confounded at the strategy employed by the Michigan Stars bowlers. Most of them banging it in short, not quite giving the ball the time or the air to move and swing before it reaches the batsman. Change in the bowling, some spin from the Michigan Cricket Stars now. Mohammad Mohsin is the man taking the ball.
Powerplay done now. Field well spread out. Spinner comes into play. Yesterday, Mohsin was bowling well. So 5 fielders.
Oh, that one given some air by Mohammad Mohsin, and yet landing slightly short, allowing the batsman to free his arms and swing that one over to cow corner, where the fielder Ryan Scott runs around to grab the ball and make a return. 2 runs taken there by Vikas. Good strong breeze blowing from right to left across the pitch as the viewers can see it. Mohsin might be tempted to throw a couple of the balls up in the air just to see if he can beat the batsman with a bit of flight. Oh, quick work there by the keeper and a loud appeal, but not the least bit of interest shown by the square leg umpire as Vikas had his rear leg firmly planted inside the crease.
Tried to swing this time without moving his feet. Doesn't make contact.
Worked down to long on for a single on that occasion.
So we got one deep mid wicket, one sweeper, deep cover, one long off, long on. And a deep square leg. 5 fielders on the boundary line.
Yes, 3 fielders on the boundary on the leg side.
2 on the off.
Mohsin, a regulation leg break bowler, meaning his ball is going to turn in to the left-hander. Rightfully seeking protection on the leg side boundary. Some innovation being tried by Awais Zia, looking to try and up the ante there. A reverse pull being attempted, but not making any contact at all. Mohsin strides off, having conceded just 3 in his opening over. He'll be quite happy with that effort. As the Chicago Blasters move on to 45 for the loss of 1 wicket at the end of 6 overs.
Having 5 fielders in the V and bowling a short delivery doesn't make sense.
Yes, good point there.
Yeah, lucky batsman couldn't make contact, otherwise it would have flown over the square leg region.
Yes, oftentimes you see players, even at our level, trying to rush through their overs almost in an effort to not give the batsman too much time to think. You know, you're reminded of players like Ravindra Jadeja at the international level, who basically tends to go through his overs very quickly. But then the bowler probably also has to take some time every now and then to try and recalibrate his thoughts, get a measure of where his captain has given him the field and how must he bowl accordingly. Some moving around of the fielders there as the captain himself, Zishan Maqsood, comes on to bowl his slow left armers. Zishan, of course, the international player recruit for the Michigan Cricket Stars this year. He is the captain of the Omani national cricket team. Also holds the record for the most wickets taken in a series at the one-day level. Starts off with the ball on leg stump, which the batsman works off his pads to square leg for a single. The opening bowlers for the Michigan Cricket Stars not quite having taken advantage of the bowler-friendly conditions. Temperatures gradually rising. The outfield will start to dry up in a bit, as Awais Zia lets that one go in the anticipation that the umpire will signal that a wide, but no such signal forthcoming from the gentleman in the green shirt. Oh, that one was slightly short of length, but he had the man on the sweeper boundary to protect for it. Ryan Scott doing the cleanup operation. Just a single there, and not quite enough if the Chicago Blasters have to make any kind of progress towards a competitive total there. Well, that one slashed away over point again by Vakas, who will come back for a couple. A bit of a sense of urgency there required on the part of the Chicago Blasters, and Mohammad Vakas probably sensing that as well.
We are in the 6th over.
Yes, the batsman having his arm looked at a bit by the umpire. Not sure if he's having some trouble with his right elbow. Saw a couple of the support staff from the team dugout run out, but maybe some painkiller, maybe some ice, but not necessarily, but not quite that. Prakash just looking at his right arm there, maybe calling for some biofreeze or an analgesic of some sort, ease a bit of pain on his right elbow. This match already delayed by a couple of hours because of inclement weather conditions here in Bixham, and the umpires will probably suggest to the players to try and get a move on in a bit. He's just strapped up that left arm a bit. Hopefully the batsman isn't in too much of discomfort. The umpires both yesterday and today seem to be quite lenient in allowing requests for refreshments, and it's understandable. Quite hot and humid conditions here. And if indeed he was in any discomfort, he didn't really show it, having gone for a big hit. But what a catch by the fielder on the boundary. Norman Anwar there making absolutely no mistake, cool, calm and collected. His heel was almost on the boundary. He was probably millimeters inside the line, but he judged that catch perfectly. Didn't have to move an inch. And Mohammad Waqas not quite sure it was whether it was the break or some discomfort that he had in his arm that affected the efficacy of that shot. Not quite able to get it over the long on fielder, and perishing trying to go for that big shot there.
Good catch that. Well judged, because he was very close to the boundary. Had one eye on the line. Nevertheless, takes a good, well judged catch. That's the end of Waqas. Striking the ball well, but they need to move on because we are already in the 6th over. This match is reduced to 15 overs aside because of the inclement weather. Now the sky is clearing up here in Michigan.
Yes, Norman Anwar, an experienced campaigner. He's obviously played the game for a few years at the highest levels of the sport, and on that occasion judging that catch perfectly. He'd be quite pleased with that effort. Pankaj Kampli, the new batsman for the Chicago Blasters, facing Zishan Maqsood. And that brings to a close the 7th over. Chicago Blasters one shy of 50 for the loss of 2 wickets. Captain leading from the front there, only 4 conceded of his first over and a wicket. Waqas was looking in relatively good touch today and was trying to get a move on when he skied that one down to Norman Anwar at long on, as Mohsin continues to zia. Yet again not quite getting it off the middle of the bat. Edge down to square leg for a single. It's in these drifting periods that the Michigan Cricket Stars need to be especially alert. It was a period like this where things seemed quite sedate when the Tigers were chasing yesterday, when Michigan Cricket Stars lost the plot. They will want to avoid a repeat of that scenario here today. Oh, as that is a absolute peach of a delivery from Mohsin, beating the batsman there and castling him all ends up.
Batsman in 2 minds whether to go forward or back.
Yes, regulation leg break there from Mohammad Mohsin. Pankaj Kampli new to the crease, a bit tentative, not quite sure whether he had to go back and cut it. There certainly wasn't enough room to nudge that ball down to third man. Probably a bit too early to play that shot, only succeeding in playing that onto his stumps, unfortunately. So Pankaj Kampli goes for a duck. Not quite sure if we have the graphic of the duck accompanying the batsman back, as they used to have back in the olden days, in the early days of graphics on television. But good blow there for the Michigan Cricket Stars. The Chicago Blasters now 50 for 3. Michigan Cricket Stars making regular inroads here into the Chicago Blasters lineup. Things progressing in a somewhat sedate fashion here today. Not much overt displays of energy by players on either side, as Shreyas Ramesh is the next batsman in for the Blasters. Ooh, that one hurrying on a bit onto Shreyas, who is facing his first delivery. Does well to get some bat on it. Mohammad Mohsin, tail well up. Slightly short on that occasion, allowing Ramesh to rock back onto the back foot and play it down to long on, where Noman Anwar makes a return back down to the keeper. As we have a bit of an exciting time here at the commentary table, our canopy flying off in the wind. Breezy conditions here at Lion Oaks Park in Wixom. Shouts of catch it there as the ball goes down to third man. Good diving stop there by the fielder chasing after the ball, and a pretty good return as well. Batsmen come back for a couple, but there was a great effort by the fielder at short third man. Batted down to mid-wicket for a single as the umpire calls over. End of the 8th over there. The Chicago Blasters 51 for 3. 54 for 3, I beg your pardon. Driven down to long on for a single as Zishan Maqsood continues for the Michigan Cricket Stars. Little bit more air on that occasion. The batsman just fending it off. Commentators here having a bit of a tough time trying to hold on as the ball gets skied but falls in no man's land. Mishit there by the batsman. Wry smile on Maqsood's face as he wonders if he should have maybe had some protection there inside the circle. But of course you can't quite account for every single miss hit. The towel dropped there by the bowler. Not sure if the umpire saw it or if it even affected the batsman, because that was a pretty good drive out to wideish long off. Norman Anwar doing fielding duties there on the boundary. As away Zia comes back for a second quite comfortably. No ball called by the umpire there. The bowler having a bit of a puzzled look on his face, wondering how on earth did he overstep on that one. Overstepping by umpires is overstepping by the bowler rather, by a spinner is quite unusual, if not downright unacceptable. Free hit ball bowled quite well by Zishan. The batsman not really able to take much advantage of that free hit. Just a single, not much damage done. End of the over there. Nine overs up. Chicago Blasters 62 for 3. A bit of a conference there between the captain and Mohammad Mohsin. Not quite sure if it's a discussion about whether Mohsin should continue with his spell or maybe take a break. Nels on. And the decision taken is to bring in Anwar into the attack. Mohsin replacing him at long off on the fence. Apologies to the viewers there if disconnect in the commentary for a few minutes there. It's because of some exciting times here at the commentary table. We had our canopy fly off in the strong breeze that's blowing across the ground, and it was a bit of a comedy of errors there for a few minutes. The commentators trying to hold on to their mics with one hand and the tent with the other. But hey, what's a commentary stint without some fun? Norman Anwar, slightly round arm action there, banging that one in a bit short, and the batsman promptly dispatching that over wide long on for a huge 6. Much needed big shot there for the Chicago Blasters. Away Zia, the set batsman there. He's probably seeing the ball pretty well by this stage, and he's really the one that has to give the impetus to the Chicago Blasters innings, and that shot certainly helping that cause. Somewhat short again there, wide open spaces on the offside for Norman Anwar, allowing Zia to free his arms and slam that through the vacant cover region for a single. From the perspective of a right-handed batsman, sweeper on the off, a wideish long off, a wide long on, a deep mid-wicket and a deep square leg. Ample protection on the boundary for Norman Anwar, as Ramesh has plenty of opportunities to just tap the ball into the plentiful vacant gaps in the infield, giving the strike to Awais Zia, who's taken on the role of the senior partner here, being the more established batsman. 33 of 25. Firing that one in wide off of off stump and a bit too wide for the umpire's liking, who signals a wide. Round arm again, beautifully played by Zia, who's seeing the ball very well indeed. Driven forcefully wide to the right of the long on fieldsman. Mohsin doing a good job of cutting that one off and returning it back to the bowler. That one slightly short range. Shouts of catch it as the sweeper fielder throws in a beautiful return. Ryan Scott there right on top of the stumps. The batsman being able to play in the air quite freely, as there's plenty of open spaces here in the infield. The ball, of course, slowing down considerably the moment it bounces on the grass. Potential quick single there, however, Awais Zia refuses his partner's call. Dot ball to end the over. 74 for 3, the Chicago Blasters at the halfway mark. I beg your pardon, it's not the halfway mark, it's actually 2/3 of the way. It's just a 15 over game. The Blasters here will look to get to at least 120. 120 to 130 will make them feel a bit comfortable, but it will require them to significantly up the ante at this point, striking at 7.4 and over thus far. They'll be looking to get more in the vicinity of around 10 and over, as Andre Bryce is brought back into the attack. That over from Norman Unwer proving a bit costly, 12 coming off that over, the 10th over of the innings. And if the Chicago Blasters are to reach that intended target of 120, 130, a lot ride on the shoulders of this man, Awais Zia, batting on 36. He needs to stay there till the end. Wide delivery, well outside the off there from Bryce. The Michigan Cricket Stars need to be cognizant of the fact that every extra that they give is like one of their own scoring for the opposition. Cheeky attempt there by Awais Zia, moving on the off to try and distract Bryce, who did end up trying to compensate by bowling that one slightly shortened on the leg side, allowing Zia to lap that over the keeper's shoulder. Comes back for a couple there. Quite fascinating to see the range of shots that's entered the modern game. All kinds of laps and helicopters and swirls. Nice and full outside off, slash through the wicket backward point area. Will come back for an easy couple as the fielder gives chase. Oh, change of pace there again. Foxing a set batsman is never length, but subtle change in pace. Away Zia's eyes lighting up there as he sensed a huge hoik over the cow corner, but instead impacting only air. And then, to his shock, hearing the sound that no batsman likes hearing, the sound of leather on timber as the stumps light up. Away Zia goes for a very well made 40 of just 30 balls, 2 sixes and a 4. But that's the commentator's curse, isn't it? I just mentioned that away Zia needed to be there till the end of the innings if the Chicago Blasters were to make a decent score, but he's just walked back dejectedly to the pavilion. Very good delivery there by Price, bringing the Michigan Cricket Stars a much needed breakthrough. 4th wicket down there for the Blasters with the score on 79, halfway through the 11th over. Jay Patel, left-hander replacing a left-hander there as Jay Patel takes guard for the Chicago Blasters. Andy Price, wind at his back. Wide outside of Jay Patel, confidently slashing that one over extra cover. Great return there by Ryan Scott, and good job there by Andy Price, taking that ball on the full and immediately spraying himself to try and hit the stumps, which he does, but the batsman made his ground there. Good cricket all around. Good positive shot there from Jay Patel on his very first delivery. Great return from Ryan Scott, appreciated by his comrades on the field, and very good work there by Andy Price to get back to the stumps. Ramesh sensibly making sure that his bat was well inside the crease. Over the wicket to the left-hander. Quick single there taken to the gully fielder. Huge shout by the keeper exhorting his colleague to make a quick return back, which only resulted in the fielder freezing up there for a moment, allowing the batsman to come through for a quick single. One ball left in this over. Oh dear, down the leg side. That really wasn't a good delivery, and Shreyas Ramesh is too good a batsman on that occasion. Ball from Andy Price, beautifully flicking that away off his pads for a boundary. Good finish to the 11th over of the innings. Chicago Blasters 86 for 4. 11 done. 82 for 4. Actually, sorry, 86. 11:86.
So 86 for 4. 11 overs done. 4 more overs to go. Zia, the set batsman, left-handed batsman on strike. Mohsin back into the attack.
Oh, that one's been swung away past wideish long on for a boundary. Jay Patel looking in supreme confidence and touch. And go to the deliveries from the get-go and doing it quite well.
Bigger pattern of Jay Patel.
Jay Patel mandate to up the scoring rate as he lofts that one over the square leg fieldsman. Just a single there, but Jay Patel quite open to taking some risks right from the outset, and they'll need that, the Chicago's, if they are to reach a decent total here. The Michigan Cricket Stars have done a decent job of pegging them back a little bit, but there's some runs coming here now. Oh dear, that one was wrapping the batsman on the pads. Looked quite close here from the angle at which we are. The umpire signaling leg byes, but not adjudicating that LBW. Probably hitting the batsman outside the line of off stump. Probably the batsman did shuffle a bit.
It was very close decision. Unlucky for the bowling side, there are no replays. It was a very close call. Very strong appeal by the close-in fielders, keeper and the bowler.
Oh dear, Jay Patel going for that one. No fielder there, but the bowler doing a great job of running, and having done the hard reaching the ball, is not able to hold on to the catch. Mohsin will be livid with himself at having dropped it. He did all the hard work in getting to it, and then the ball landed in his palm and properly propped out as well.
Always difficult to catch us running backwards.
As Shreyas Ramesh dances down the track and hits that one over to long on, where Norman Anwar picks it up and returns it back to the bowler. Jay Patel will consider himself pretty lucky to be there at the crease still. Will that miss prove costly for the Michigan Cricket Stars? Jay Patel, the one looking to score off of every delivery there. As Mohsin gives that one a little bit more air, not quite able to cut off the return from Jay Patel, who comes through for a single off the last ball of the over to retain strike. 95 for 4, the Chicago Blasters at the conclusion of the 12th. Yes, you're right. Those are the ones that are the most tough to take, right? And it's only amplified when the fielder is the bowler himself, having just finished his follow through, has to turn around, run back, try and take that catch coming over his shoulder.
No bowler would want to drop his own chance.
That is true. You often see them angrily gesticulating towards the fielder that drops a catch off their bowling. And this one was hit comprehensively over long on for a 6. Jay Patel there, seeing the ball like a beach ball from ball number 1. Beautifully lofted over long on and over the commentator's table there for a 6.
Beautiful shot that. They require more such lusty blows to get them to a decent score. What do you think is a decent score?
Oh, I'd say anything short of 130 is probably going to be tough for the Blasters to defend. 125 to 130 is what I would think is par at this stage, based on where they're at. As Jay plays that over towards extra cover, plenty of vacant spaces there, as we already mentioned, allowing him to come back for a second and retain strike. Yes, and good point there by my fellow commentator. 100 comes up for the Chicago Blasters. 101 for 4 in the 13th over. Cheers from the dugout. And oh dear, was there a chance there? Probably being a bit harsh, a bit of a tough one for Mohsin. At extra cover.
A very, very difficult chance. Fielder could reach because of his dive.
Mohsin taking advantage of every single inch of height that he has there. That one was absolutely creamed by Jay Patel. And oh dear, wild swing across. Shreyash Ramesh looking to get a move on, but not quite succeeding. Zishan Maqsood going through the batsman there, and the ball hitting off stump.
Cleaned up by the bowler this time. Batsman trying to go across. Understandable, they require quick runs at this stage. Only 2 more overs to go. So they are 104 for 5 now. I think you are fantasizing that 2.2 figure. Yesterday it was 22 for 2 in 2.2. Today remaining 2.2 overs.
Yes, that
Fond of
intended.
Richie Bernard, I think.
Oh yes, definitely. Richie Beno, the legendary commentator. Known not just for his distinct voice, but also for the importance he laid to the pause, as he called it. Too many commentators being excessively verbose. Richie Beno always provided the perfect foil there, letting the action play out on the screen.
I think he was commentating on Channel 9.
Yes, he was the grandfather of the illustrious Channel 9 commentary team, made famous by
I think the
Tony Gray,
telecast,
Bill Lawry.
commentating, everything changed by that Channel 9.
Yes, that was Kerry Packer's revolutionary World
Yeah.
Series cricket that brought in the multiple cameras on the ground, day and night cricket, exciting commentary. A legacy that we see even here in the colour. History of the game. The crowds were starting to thin out, no revenues being made, not enough of it being given to the players. So started off as a purely commercial aspect, enabling cricketers to make a livelihood, and that's probably what contributed to its popularity.
So a lot of players
Particularly played heavily, there's heavy representation from obviously the subcontinental diaspora here, but lots of
not only
exciting talent.
subcontinent. I think a lot of players coming in from West Indies.
That is true, yes. Lots of players from the Caribbean, particularly in leagues in Florida, California, New York, Toronto probably. Michigan itself has a pretty vibrant cricket scene. The Michigan Cricket Association having its 40-40 tournaments on Saturdays, 20-20 on Sundays. As a faint nick there from the batsman, we could hear the sound here all the way beyond long off at the commentary table, and the umpire obviously hearing the nick as well, raising his finger without any hesitation as Ashar Mehdi walks back to the pavilion, not having troubled the scorers much, just one scored of the couple of deliveries that he's faced. As yet another wicket falls, Ashar Mehdi, of course, the Chicago Blasters skipper, not being able to get a move on there. 105 for 6 now in this penultimate over of the innings, and that target of 120 to 130 seems quite fanciful at this stage, you would have to think. Mohit Patel, the new batsman, on the crease as Zia Khan fires that one down the leg side. Umpire signalling wide, allowing Mohit Patel to face his first ball and get a feel for what Zia Khan's pace and bowling is like without really having to encounter much trouble. He's conceded 15 in his first 2 overs, Zia Khan. Oh, magnificent delivery there by Zia Khan. Always tough as a new batsman when you face the ball rearing up off a length, not quite sure whether to go front or back. Mohit Patel tentatively pushing at that one, and will consider him quite fortunate to have not gotten an edge through to the keeper. Beautiful delivery that from Zia.
So these kind of good deliveries put brakes on the scoring.
That one slightly fuller. Mohit Patel managing to get bat on it, lofted down towards long on for a single.
The Michigan Stars will not mind those singles.
Yes, they've kept the pressure on the Chicago Blasters. $106 now for the Blasters.
Jay Patel have to go big.
Oh, that's one slammed into that vacant area between long off and deep extra cover. The ball slowing down there, allowing Norman Anwar to run all the way from long off to cut that one off. Jay Patel coming back for a second. There's a substantially strong breeze here in Wixom today in Michigan. Sun coming out, and the breeze causing a bit of problems for the broadcasting team here. As Jay Patel gives himself way more room than he could manage himself, and not being able to lay bat on that one. Oh dear, Zia Khan will feel hard done there by. It was a beautiful delivery, moving slightly off the seam, getting the outside edge. Patel's bat, no slip there obviously at this stage of the innings, allowing Jay Patel to come back for a second. He won't mind that, but you have to feel for the bowler there. Very good delivery, to finish off the over. 111 for 6, the Chicago Blasters. Can they get 9 more? Maybe reach a 120. Giving them a bit of a psychological boost. Allowing the Chicago Blasters bowlers some leeway. This is going to be the bowler to wrap up the innings from a bowling standpoint. This the last over of the innings. What is Mohit Patel thinking? He is thinking that that ball from Andy Bryce is too wide to warrant even an attempt at a shot, and sensibly so, as the umpire calls that a wide. Coming around the wicket to the right-hander. This one a wide down the leg side. Definitely not good from Andy Bryce here. That is definitely not going to make the skipper Maqsood a very happy man. Switching to over the wicket there, and a much better delivery, perfect delivery to bowl at the depth, hitting that right length and causing the ball to rear up and go past the batsman at a good length. The batsman not really able to play much of a shot of that delivery. Great delivery there by Price. He has been a bit expensive, 26 of his 2.1 overs, an economy rate of 12. Change in the pace. There was width on offer on that occasion, but the lack of pace from the delivery meant that Mohit Patel's cut didn't quite have the effect he intended it to have. Go straight to the fielder at backward point, who takes a dive. The Chicago Blast 7th wicket now with the score on 113 and 4 balls left in the innings. Ineffectual shot there from the batsman due to Andre Bryce taking the pace off the ball. Very, very good bowling here. Apart from the 2 wides that he conceded at the first, both the deliveries that he has bowled have been excellent. Very different in nature. The first one a lot quicker and slightly shorter, rising off a length. The second one wide outside off stump and a lot slower, tempting the batsman into going for a shot. Excellent setup there of Mohit Patel by Andre Bryce. Saikant Akunuri, the next batsman. And it's a tall order that he faces. There is only so much you can do when you come in with 4 balls left in the innings. And he manages to somehow take a single of the first delivery that he's faced. Sensible ploy there, giving the strike to Jay Patel, who's the set batsman. 23 of 13, and he will be looking to capitalize on the remaining 3 deliveries of the innings as best as he can. Bryce running in. Change in pace again. Good thinking there, but no control. The batsman, and dare I say the commentators as well, quite surprised that that one wasn't called a wide by the umpire. That one seemed well outside the off stump, potentially outside the wide line, but the umpire ruling that a legal delivery. Andre Bryce probably heaving a sigh of relief there at his ploy coming off. Pace off again, full wide outside off. This is good tactics here by Andy Bryce. The batsman coming back for 2 there. Good return from the fielder down at the deep point boundary. So here we go. 116 for 7, the Chicago Blasters. Last ball of the innings. Andy Bryce versus Jay Patel. Slower ball there again. Jay Patel probably anticipating it, but not quite making as good contact as he would have thought. Powerful return there by the fielder at long on over the head of the bowler, allowing the batsman to come back for 2 as Jay Patel finishes on 27 of 15 as the Chicago Blasters end their innings at 118 for 7. 119 the target for the Michigan Cricket Stars. They'll fancy their chances. They've managed to keep the Blasters down to a shade under 120, and we will recommence with the chase in a few minutes. So please stay tuned and don't go anywhere. Thank you so much. Good afternoon and welcome back to our viewers. We are back live here from Linox County Park in Bixom, Michigan. The Michigan Cricket Stars about to commence their chase of 119 runs against the Chicago Blasters. The Blasters batting first today. Nauman Anwar is going to open the batting for the Michigan Cricket Stars. He is at the striker's end, partnered by Ryan Scott, who's at the non-strikers. Chiranjeevi Saikant to start off proceedings for the Blasters, and starts off with a pretty good delivery. Good length, good line in the channel outside off stump that Nauman Anwar prudently lets through to the keeper. Nice, good, pleasant conditions here today. Slightly higher temperatures, but there has been a consistent breeze across the ground for quite a while now, providing much needed respite and energy to the bowlers. Oh, excellent delivery there once again. Chiranjeevi Saikant finding his rhythm right off the bat, but not quite supported by the keeper on that occasion. The ball going through his hands, allowing the batsman to steal a single there. Nauman Anwar might not have gotten off the mark, but the Michigan Cricket Stars have. Now this is the batsman that all of you have probably been waiting to watch. I certainly have. Ryan Scott has a pretty good record against the Chicago Blasters. What can he do today? He scored a century against the Chicago Blasters on this very ground the last time the two sides met. Sees that first one off the face of his bat, Ryan Scott. Chiranjeevi Saikant Akunuri, the opening bowler for the Chicago Blasters, looking in good rhythm right from the outset, and he will be looking to carry that on as he faces up against Ryan Scott. Good length delivery there again, rising towards Ryan Scott, who gets up on his toes and plays that down towards the gully for no runs. Oh dear, a lot of the good work done by Chiranjeevi of the preceding deliveries undone there. That one starting to swing in towards the batsman. The only problem there, it started swinging from leg stump and therefore went down the leg side. The keeper diving to his right but not quite able to cut that off. The batsman happily coming back for a couple there. 4 for no loss, none of them off the bat thus far. And just as I said that, the first runs off the bat. Ryan Scott just playing that towards the extra cover region. The fielder there deep enough, allowing the batsman to come through for a comfortable single. One ball left in this first over. The Chicago Blasters bowlers have to be right on top of their game throughout their spells because they don't have much to defend. You'd probably call that a score slightly below par. Nice full and straight on that occasion, allowing Norman Anwar to just drive that ball towards the vacant mid-off region for a single, and that brings the first over to an end. 6 of it for no loss for the Michigan Cricket Stars. Abdullah Qadri will be sharing the new ball with Chiranjeevi Saikanth for the Chicago Blasters as... Oh dear, and that's a wild delivery to start off for Abdullah Qadri, sending that one soaring over the head of the batsman who takes evasive action, and the umpire at square leg immediately stretching his arm out, signalling a no ball. Not sure if this will constitute a warning as well. Clearly there was no malicious intent on the part of the bowler on that occasion. That one much better in length, but not so much on the line, as that one goes well out of the reach of not just the batsman but also the wicketkeeper down the leg side. Wide +2 yet again on that occasion. Good strong breeze here flowing across the ground, causing quite some trouble not just to the bowlers trying to control their swing but also the commentators at their table here. Equipment flying all over the place, as that is a mishit by Norman Anwar, straight to mid-off. But that obviously wouldn't be out because it was a free hit. To those who wonder if you missed something, that's because the ball after the no ball was a wide, therefore the free hit still stood on that delivery. So no damage done there for Norman Anwar or the Michigan Cricket Stars. Already at 11 for no loss, with 2 legal deliveries in this over bowled thus far. Wild swing there by Ryan Scott, taking a healthy outside edge, but the force from the bat was such that it was enough to carry it over the head of the third man fielder for a boundary. Clearly not the direction that Ryan Scott intended for the ball to go in, but he'll take that. Boundary early on in the innings is always a big confidence booster for Ryan Scott, as though he doesn't have enough of confidence here considering his record against this particular team. Oh, that one was bowled nice and full. Good shot there by Ryan Scott. Off the middle of the bat there, and just a single though, down to wide-ish mid-off. Abdullah Qadri has a good fast run in on his approach to the wicket. Probably gets the juices flowing as He winds up to let the ball rip. Noman Anwar moving away, creating some room there, trying to blast it through the offside, but only succeeds in finding the mid-off fielder. Seems to have found some semblance of a rhythm there after the initial two wayward deliveries. Kadri. He saw the batsman making some room there, trying to hit over the offside, so Kadri just fires that one into the pitch, and the healthy bounce here at the Lion Oaks track, taking that ball over the batsman's bat swing and into the safe hands of the keeper. One more ball remaining in the second over of the Michigan innings. Oh, that one straight and fast, which Noman Anwar does a good job of keeping from going on to the stumps. Good recovery there from Abdullah Qadri. Nice action, good run into the wicket. Lovely delivery stride as well. And at the end of 2 overs, Michigan Cricket Stars are 14 for no loss. Oh dear, that one is an absolute skyer, and oh my god, this is definitely not you would expect from players at any level, let alone the level of the minor league. Ryan Scott going again for a wild one and absolutely skying it in the process. The bowler thought the fielder would take it. Abdullah Qadri, the fielder, coming in from cover on the line, he came in. Both the fielder and the bowler thought the other person is going to grab the catch, and probably there was no calling there, and the ball just fell harmlessly with the two of them looking at each other. Quite ridiculous, really. Ryan Scott obviously will be relieved at this faux pas by the bowler and the fielder. As Noman Anwar swings that one across the line down to the square leg boundary for a single. Just into the third over, and already some exciting happenings here in this game. Chiranjeevi Saikant there. You can empathize with him, but he also has himself to blame partly for that missed chance, as this one is kind of half-heartedly chipped towards the mid-off fielder. Noman Anwar was somewhat interested in scampering through for a single, but Ryan Scott rightfully sending him back. And that one is slashed away over backward point. There is absolutely no need to run for that, because that ball has raced over the boundary fence for a boundary. Width there on offer by Saikant, and Ryan Scott takes full advantage of that, freeing his arms and slashing that over backward point.
There is speed. You can.
Saikant would do well to take the memory of the missed chance out of his head and focus on containing the batsman, which he does on that occasion. A few nervy moments there for Ryan Scott, as the ball probably might have rolled onto the stumps had it not been for some quick footwork there by the batsman, if not necessarily in fending the ball off when it was delivered, then in preventing it from rolling onto the stumps. So quite an eventful over that for Ryan Scott, but thankfully for him, he would assume, the over comes to a close. At the end of 3 overs, Michigan Cricket Stars are 22 for no loss, but it might very well have been 22 for 1. That ball from Kadri driven down to long off by Noman Anwar quite easily for a single. And a dramatic change in conditions here at Wixom. The sun's out, the skies are blue again, and the outfield is probably dried out. It'll vindicate the decision from the Michigan Cricket Stars to win the toss and bowl first. As no ball called there by the umpire. Abdullah Kadri overstepping on that occasion. Noman Anwar will now be relishing his chances of facing the free hit ball. And the free hit ball there being delivered wide by the bowler, so the free hit still stands. Noman Anwar still has a chance at capitalizing on it. How will the bowler approach this delivery? What can he do to prevent the batsman taking advantage of this free hit? Well, clearly whatever the bowler thought wasn't the appropriate response, because the batsman just easily picked that up from the leg stump line and deposited it over the square leg fence for a maximum. So maximum usage there made of the free hit delivery by Noman Anwar. The bowler will be quite disappointed there. That certainly isn't. Could have thought of change in length, change in pace, but just maintaining his pace on that occasion and also bowling it down the leg side. Full and wide outside off stump, no signal whatsoever from the umpire. Is probably a delivery he could have considered for the previous delivery, which was a free hit. Love his action though. Nice, easy flowing run into the crease. Arms coming around left, the right arm in this case, coming through first and then followed by the left, delivering the ball seamlessly. Good clean action. A genuine left arm pacer's action there from Abdullah Qadri. And a lovely delivery there, beating the batsman through sheer pace and bounce. Keeper taking it at head height. Lovely bounce and carry through here on the surface at Lion Oaks County Park. Like we mentioned in yesterday's game, it's a true pitch. There's something in it for the bowlers. Good bounce, good pace, good carry. And also for the batsman because the ball tends to come onto the bat nicely. As it did on that occasion, allowing Norman Anwar to make some room and slam that through the vacant cow corner region. The fielder doing good to run after it and restrict the batsman to one. Oh dear, leading edge off the bat. Ryan Scott starts walking off even before the fielder has completed the catch. That's how obvious it was to even him, as the fielder makes no mistake on that occasion. Tame end to Ryan Scott's innings. He was the danger man as far as Chicago Blasters are concerned, but not quite going on the rampage on this occasion as he has on previous occasions. He is dismissed for 12. Michigan Cricket Stars lose their first wicket at 33 in the 5th over. Three for one, the Michigan Cricket Stars in at the beginning of the 5th over. Haladar Das, the new batsman for the Michigan Cricket Stars. Oh dear, as Norman Anwar skies this one, but This one's probably safe because it's fallen in no man's land right behind the wicket keeper. Good charge there by the keeper to try and get back, but he had no chance whatsoever as the batsmen come back for a couple. Mohit Patel, the change in the bowling for the Chicago Blasters. Well, the batsman going for a wild swing there, getting a healthy outside edge, but no slip or a finish third man to cause any problems whatsoever for the batsman. And these kind of scenarios really is where you feel for the bowler, because that was not all that bad a delivery and certainly wasn't the best of shots from Norman Anwar, but still fetching him 2 on that occasion. I beg your pardon, just 1. Wild swing there again by the batsman, but this time not making any contact. If it had, rest assured, even that would have probably flown over the vacant slip cordon. That one on a good length and a tighter line as well on that occasion from Mohit Patel, not allowing Norman Anwar to free his arms. He has protection on the offside. There is a backward point, a cover, open space at mid-off. He has a wideish long off. No protection on the boundary, straight on the leg side. Good length delivery on that occasion, not quite short enough for the batsman to pull, and Norman Anwar not able to make contact there with the bat as the over comes to an end. 36 for 1, the Michigan Cricket Stars at the end of 5. Just 3 runs coming off that over from Mohit Patel.
I think Chicago Blasters are bowling very well here. Not giving any room for the batsman. Yesterday we saw both the batsmen scoring freely in the power play overs, but today we have seen so many leading and top edges going up. Ryan Scott getting a life but couldn't cash onto it. One more leading edge, played straight to mid-off, taken easily. Now we saw one more top edge flying over fine leg. From Mohammad Umar's bat. Flick down the leg, 2 runs easily taken. Bowled on the legs, batsman had no problems in glancing it towards fine leg.
Now is the end of that over from Mohit Patel. I thought the over had already been called, but looks like there was a delivery left there. The scorecard not quite updating at the rate that's conducive to the commentators. 38 for 1 at the conclusion of the 5th over. Michigan Cricket Stars.
I think now the power play done. Field spreading out.
Yes, time for some spin, looks like, from the Chicago Blasters. Pankaj Kampli is the man into the attack. And if I'm right, it's Haladar Das who is on strike. Leg break there, slightly short, slightly wide, and Haladar Das, who we know is a bit of a hard-hitting batsman as he showed yesterday, thumping that one down to wide long off through the wicket mid-off area to get off the mark. Oh, and that one was in the slot for Norman Anwar, who has absolutely no trouble dispatching that over wide long on for a huge 6. That one sounded sweet off the bat, didn't it?
Wonderful shot. Picked up. So Michigan Stars 45 for 1 in the 6th over. Power play done. Good strike.
It is said at times that the leg break is not quite the easiest delivery to control. The bowler needs to have exceptional control over his wrist at the point of delivery. On that occasion, Pankaj Kampli not quite managing to get that control, and Norman Anwar, to his delight, found the ball at just the right location to be able to dispatch it over the long on fence.
I think Norman Anwar couldn't make this kind of contact earlier. He was mistiming it, but this time connected it well.
Yes, he's going along at a good clip here, 22 of 21. He's already had a couple of 6s under his belt. And we all know what a player of his caliber can do if he's allowed to.
But yesterday at the start of the innings he was going at 200.
Yes, I think there was that good over in between from Mohit Patel. Good circumspect temperament shown there by Norman. That ball much better than the previous one from Kampli. Not giving any width to Anwar on that occasion. Slightly flatter, slightly faster on that occasion. Norman Anwar just sensibly taps that down into the vacant cover region for a quick single.
But it is the length that matters, not giving any room for the batsman. Bowling on a good length.
Yes, so many times you see the modern day spinners, once they get hit, they are immediately a bit risk averse and not prone to give the ball much air.
Another good ball.
Clearly see Kampli there much faster and flatter through the air than on the occasion when Anwar dispatched him over the boundary for a 6. That one quite fast and full as well. Played across the line by Haladar Das. Onto his pads and just rolls off, enabling them to take a single. finish of the over. Michigan Cricket Stars 47 at the end of the 6th over. So they are keeping up with the run rate. They require about 8 and over from here, and they are just a shade under that. This game still very much in the balance. Couple of wickets here and there for the Blasters in cause real trouble. And as we might have a bit of a hold up here, the wind, if you can call it that, it's much stronger than a wind here in Wixom today. Extremely windy conditions. The sight screen fluttering about as the bowler runs in. Aladar Das doesn't seem to be unduly perturbed by the windscreen having collapsed, the sight screen here having collapsed, as he negotiates that one from Mohit Patel quite safely.
So strong winds blowing across this ground.
Oh, that one was in the slot, allowing Aladar Das to hoist that one over towards cow corner, but brilliant job done there by Kadri, running in from the deep mid-wicket boundary. Plays a bit of tag with the fielder from long on, passing the ball on to him, who duly returns it back to the bowler. 2 runs for the batsman, but a very good job in the outfield there by the Chicago Blasters fielders.
So this commitment is required from the fielders to keep the runs in check. If the fielding side supports the bowler, definitely it's an advantage for them. But it's a wide now. Easy runs not to be conceded at this stage.
Yes, that wide from Mohit Patel, bringing up the 50 for the Michigan Cricket Stars in the 7th over. Not a very tall man, Mohit Patel, but has a pretty good, nice high arm action that allows him to hit the deck harder than you would expect him to. Good change of pace there on a good length from Mohit on that occasion. Beating Anwar all ends up.
See, normally short stature pace bowlers are very skiddy, very dangerous.
That is a good point. It's an
may not bounce, but it skids after pitching.
Oh, slash there through the vacant gully area, and that ball's actually crossed the ropes for a boundary. So Mohit Patel would be a bit aggrieved there. The ball quite short and wide though, so Nauman Anwar rightly slashing at that one. And ultimately there's only so many fielders that you can have inside the circle as well to cover for all eventualities, and on that occasion the ball flying through the vacant gully area for 4.
This time a bit short and wide, allowing the batsman to score.
Oh dear, and that's the sort of chances the Chicago Blasters have to take if they want to defend a target that's 119. That ball flying off the outside edge towards the gully region where now there was a fielder. He had to dive low to his left to be able to hang on, which he did not.
Not that easy to take such catches. Ball was dropping short of him, though he dived.
Yes, I think the key for fielders in those positions, Arun, is to not really watch the bowler run in and deliver the ball and then follow it off the batsman. Instead, their focus should be entirely on the batsman. Almost pretend like it's a catching practice
Yeah, but
situation.
that position you have to anticipate. Anticipation is the key. Yesterday, as I pointed out, that is the position where Jonty Rhodes set high standards.
Absolutely.
He used to absolutely fly in that region.
And this is something he actually mentioned in an interview I saw years ago, where he said, for him, all that matters is the ball coming. And vital for a few nanoseconds, if you will, that allows you to react that much quicker than the fielder did on that occasion. Bowling, Mohammad Waqas coming into the attack.
Normally, the side's best fielder must field in that position.
Absolutely, your most agile, most alert fielder. And Norman Anwar finds that one to his liking as well. Waqas dropping that on a length, allowing Norman Anwar to just swing across the line and dispatch that one over the cow corner boundary for a maximum. Jeez, he's a powerful hitter off the ball, Norman Anwar. To be quite honest, considering the levels he's played at, he's probably faced bowling attacks of much higher caliber, and on that occasion Waqas dropping that one short, not quite the ball to bowl to a batsman of Norman Anwar's standard. Much better comeback there from the bowler.
The moment the batsman takes for a six, the bowler tends to bowl fastest deliveries to keep the runs under control.
Oh dear.
Flighted, dispatched over wide mid-wicket.
Oh, just forget about that one. Yep, it's Waqas did bowl one a bit faster, like you mentioned on the previous occasion. This one he went back to giving the ball some air and taking the pace off, and Anwar was waiting on his haunches for that one, and that was a huge hit over the mid-wicket boundary. Stars have raced on to 68 for 1 as Waqas changes the angle from around the wicket. Still plenty of time for the batsman to rock back and cut that one away onto the offside for a single.
As we were pointing out, not only the cover point fielder, the batsman also has to think a lot, anticipating what the bowler does, coming up with fastest delivery and then flighting. The batsman expects what the bowler would do.
Yes, that's the fascinating cerebral aspect of the game, isn't it? The battle of wits between the bowler and the batsman. Game's not just played across the 22 yards, but also between the ears, as they say. .50 required to win of 7 overs. Mohit Patel continuing for the Chicago Blasters. Anwar on strike yet again. Full and on the pads on that occasion, which Anwar just places down to wide mid-on for a single. Anwar has had the majority of the strike so far in this partnership. Haladar Das has been kept quiet. An absolute snorter there from Mohit Patel. Welcome to the crease, Haladar, says Mohit, with that rising delivery that crashes into the helmet of the batsman. The umpires immediately walking over to check if the batsman is alright. There is more awareness, concern whenever the ball hits the batsman's helmet these days in cricket, ever since the Tragic incident involving Philip Hughes in Australia back in 2014.
These days, this concussion injuries, Midhan, the umpires have to immediately find out whether the batsman is injured. It's part of their training, umpiring, to deal with this concussion injuries. This time a sharp stumping, strong appeal.
Yeah, the previous delivery there from Mohit Patel probably unsettling Haladar Das a bit, who wanted to hit back with a point of his own. Just going for an agricultural heave across the line on that occasion and completely missing the line of the delivery. The keeper was quite sharp there in whipping the bails off, and he was extremely excited.
Keeper just moved for this ball. He was up.
Aha, that's a good observation there. Mohit Patel has considerable bite and sting in his
So he's
in his bowling,
rejected.
so
He thought he was out.
not quite easy to stand up to a bowler like him. And a good straight delivery on that occasion.
Good bowling by Patel here.
Das trying to get a grip of his emotions and playing a steady hand on that occasion. That one was slow and tossed up slightly, giving the batsman some time to flick it aerially over square leg for a couple. Good return there by the fielder, but still ample time for batsman to come back for a second. There's no need for the batsman to do anything silly there. The target is quite comfortable thus far. All they need is for these two batsmen to just settle down, and
I think they require a runner ball now.
slightly over that, as that short delivery is pulled away by Haladar Das down to the deep mid-wicket fence for a single, fielded down there.
When the asking rate is run a ball, I don't see why a mid-on fielder is not placed, conceding easy singles there.
Yes, and it probably speaks to the defensive mindset of the bowler there. Lay on that aggressive field set, allowing the batsman easy ones and twos, which often are the pressure releases that the batting side needs.
Yeah, but you need to stop these singles also,
Exactly.
because they can run away with those singles. You need to stop not only boundaries but the singles also, not give easy singles. Anyhow, odd boundary definitely comes in and over, but you need to stop these singles also. Captains need to think a lot, the various aspects of the game and how the game is progressing.
And some thought there indeed given by the Chicago Blasters skipper. Change in the bowling once again. Away Zia, who did well with the bat earlier today, coming on to bowl.
See, another single considered there. If you have a fielder at that point, I think that they could have cut that single.
And I'm not quite sure what the bowler is thinking there. He has absolutely no protection inside the circle on the leg side.
That's what.
he has a packed offside field and he's bowling right arm round the wicket to a right-hander and bowling into the leg stump. Thankfully not so on that occasion, the ball directed more towards the offside. But those will be easy pickings for the batsmen, allowing them to just build up their score without any pressure whatsoever. And that one again, an errant ball outside leg stump. There was a deep square leg, but nobody finer there, and that ball was just waiting to be dispatched to the fine leg boundary for 4. These kind of deliveries are not going to trouble any batsman, let alone one of the pedigree of Norman Anwar. And the bowler needs to realize he can keep moving the field all he wants, but if he doesn't bowl to his field, he's only making things difficult for himself, as Norman Anwar takes yet another easy single on the offside this time. 79 for 1, only 40 more required in over 5. And yet again another easy single on the leg side. Single on the offside this time. 8 runs coming off that over from away Zia, as the Michigan Cricket Stars move on to 81 for the loss of just 1 wicket at 10 overs. The call coming from the Michigan Stars dugout to the batsmen, saying they require 38 runs in 5 overs, exhorting the 2 batsmen to stay there and get the job done, which is what they should do, really. They've put themselves in a comfortable position. The Chicago Blasters now need to scramble and get some wickets. That's the only way they can put the brakes on the Michigan Cricket Stars batsmen.
So once again that mid-on region, no fielder being placed there.
Yes, bowler number 1, Saikant, is the man coming back into the attack. And curiously enough, he is also sticking, like Arun mentioned, to that spread back field on the leg side. Absolutely nobody protecting the single or the double on the leg side at all. But the only saving grace is he had kept that on the offside, and it still went to a boundary because that ball was struck brilliantly by Norman Anwar towards wide extra cover where there was absolutely no protection for him there, and that boundary brings up a blistering half century for Norman Anwar of just 37 balls, 52 his score, 4 sixes, 3 fours, and he's done the bulk of the scoring for the Michigan Cricket Stars. Magnificent innings there. What a treat it's been to watch this.
I think it's a consecutive 50 for him. Yesterday also he scored a 50.
That's right, it's been a great weekend for Norman Anwar, as that one is skied beyond the boundary at wideish long on for yet another maximum. He's gotten his 50, and now Norman Anwar can really enjoy himself and relax and focus on going after that target. He seems like he wants to get this game over in a hurry. There is a threat of rain in some time, so the Michigan Cricket Stars are probably comfortably ahead on the Duckworth Lewis. The minimum is the 5 over mark, and that's been comfortably crossed.
Yesterday also I think he got out immediately after completing his half century. And today also immediately after 50 he went for a big strike. Luckily, though the fielder there tried to jump and take that catch, it eluded him.
Yes, there's that little release of adrenaline as you cross a milestone. Causes you to sometimes throw caution to the wind, enables you to play a shot a lot freely in your mind than you normally would. As Saikant bangs in a second consecutive one on the offside, just out of reach of the extended swing from Noman Anwar. Swing off the bat, that is. Just 28 required now, and the Chicago Blasters will be desperate to take some wickets. But you're not going to get any wickets when you bowl like that with absolutely no protection. Again, dug into the pitch, bowled wide on the offside with no backward point fielder on the boundary for protection, and really all the batsman had to do was get a healthy dose of wood onto that one, and the ball just racing across the boundary. Not quite the sort of effort that you require at this stage, the Blasters.
Beautiful shot that. I think he has taken 2 boundaries and a 6 of this over.
Yes, Saikant needs to get a grip on his emotions there and try and focus on getting the ball in the right area, which he does on that occasion. Cry of anguish from the bowler as the fielder at gully lets the ball through. Shot third man running after it and allowing the batsman to go through for a single. Noman Anwar farming the strike here, which is not good news for the Blasters. Aladar Das quite happy to watch the fun from the non-strikers end and having as much fun as we are here at the commentator's table.
Definitely. So Noman Anwar doing the bulk of scoring here. Started a bit slowly, getting a lot of top edges, but once he settled down, playing a brilliant innings. Hit straight down the ground, that will be cut off by the long on fielder. 2 runs taken though.
Yes, it might be prudent to have at least one out of the long on or the long off slightly straighter there, because Zia on that occasion was quite straight and the batsman just comfortably hit it over his head and came back for a couple. This one, the batsman crouching down beautifully and smashing that through the covers for just a single. Noman Anwar looking extremely comfortable out in the middle there. The bowling isn't really threatening. The target is quite comfortable, and that's allowing him to free his mind and play his shots. Tossed up, pace taken off the ball there by away Zia. Das here playing the supporting foil to the rampage from Noman Anwar. And on this occasion, Das trying to change that status quo, but only succeeding in hitting that ball up in the air and safely into the hands of the deep mid-wicket fielder. Good catch taken there, nicely judged, nice and easy into the hands as Aladar Das departs having scored 10 of 15 deliveries. Some success there for Awais Zia.
Strong wind blowing across, playing into the wind. Ball definitely will not carry beyond the boundary. To a well-judged catch by the fielder.
Mohit Patel, the fielder there on that occasion, making no mistake at the deep mid-wicket boundary, as the Michigan skipper Zishan Maqsood comes on, replacing Haladar Das. Maqsood, of course, at the non-striker's end, as the batsman crossed over during the catch. The latest ICC rule that stipulates the new batsman shall face, not in effect here in this tournament. Michigan captain will be quite pleased with the proceedings as they stand currently. Just 20 required in a shade over 3 overs here. Would have been a tight target at one point of time in the game, but in today's times it just seems like a cakewalk for the batting team. Hundred comes up for the Michigan Cricket Stars at the end of the 12th over. 100 for the loss of just 2 wickets there. This has been a very good batting performance by the Michigan Cricket Stars. All they need now are a couple of cool heads to score the remaining 19 in the 3 overs required. Abdullah Qadri given the job of trying to prevent that in this over. He's gone for 21 in his first 2 overs. Oh, that was struck powerfully down the ground towards long off. Just a single, of course, considering the thickness of the grass here at Lion Oaks. These fields, typically the lawn is cut for soccer, which explains the lushness of the outfield. Zishan Maqsood about to face his first delivery. Oh, nice line there. Huge appeal by the bowler. He probably thought that there was a nick there, but the umpire not interested in the least. Not quite sure what was going through the mind of the Michigan captain there. Zishan Maqsood swinging across the line there. This was just his first delivery, not willing himself to waste any time getting his eye in.
Immediately fielder cover, extra cover, fielder falls back.
And on that occasion making sure he keeps his eye on the ball too. expensive over there for the Chicago Blasters. 11 coming off that over from Kadri. Good over though for the Michigan Cricket Stars, who now have their target well in sight, within single digits. Just 8 required in 2 overs. Probably just an academic matter now before the Michigan Cricket Stars reach their target.
That means Chicago Blasters are still looking for their first points.
Yes, indeed. They will certainly be disappointed with their performance today as well. Of course, the 15-15 over game just does change the dynamics a little bit, but the performance of the Blasters still leaving some to be desired. Mohammad Waqas back into the attack. Zishan doing the right thing, taking just a single off the first delivery, giving the strike to Norman Anwar. Oh, and that's been not quite cut straight to the fielder. It was cut straight to the fielder at point, but the ball dropping just short of him. He did well to get his hands under the ball immediately after the ball bounced in front of him. So just a dot ball there, but a little bit of excitement for a moment there. Single to Norman Anwar. Just 6 required now for the Michigan Cricket Stars. Oh, that one was given air, and that one was dispatched over the square leg boundary for a huge 6.
What a way to get to your victory.
Yes, the captain finishing it off in style for the Michigan Cricket Stars. Comprehensive win today against the Chicago Blasters, and that will make the Michigan team feel very, very warm and fuzzy indeed.
So Norman Anwar, the not-out batsman, batted beautifully, carried the innings through. He's 60 plus not out.
77 or 52 with 6 sixes and 4 fours. Splendid performance there by the star player of the Michigan Cricket Stars as they jubilantly file onto the ground to shake hands with the visiting Blasters. And this win holds the Michigan Cricket Stars in good stead for the games coming up in the coming weeks. We hope you have enjoyed this presentation of this game. It was a rain-affected game, but the weather cooperated eventually, and the 15-15 over game resulting in a comprehensive win for the Michigan Cricket Stars. We are so thrilled that all of you could join us here today. We certainly enjoyed bringing this game to all of you, and we will see you the next time we have a game here in lovely Lions Park in Dixon. Thank you so much on behalf of myself, Avinash Raghu and Arun Kumar for joining us here today, and thank you and have a great rest of the weekend.
Thank you so much.
You're watching the Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship, presented by Sunoco.